All right, everybody, man. We are back with another video, man. Just talking with previous clients that have been in the program, that have seen changes in themselves, man, and had opportunities to play at the next level. And so, man, I wanted to get one of my favorite guys on, one of my guys that went through some adverse situations, man. That I think his story would be good to share with everybody because everybody doesn't take the pretty road. Everybody doesn't get the scholarship straight out of high school. And so, man, I thought your story would be unique. I need you to be real, be authentic, and help people, man, understand how this program helped you. All right. So, look, with that being said, man, introduce yourself. Tell us a little about yourself, man, and we get everything going.
All right, I'm Nic Rosso. I'm 18 years old, class 24. I'm from Flower Mound, Texas. And yeah,
Man, I love it. So tell us this, man. What led you to us? What led you to PPT? Just kind of give a little background on that story.
I was the guy going into my senior year, so it was fall camp, and I made some bad decisions, got in trouble. Unfortunately, couldn't play the season. I stuck in alternative school, the whole nine. Lost all my interest, my offers. So I thought I didn't have anywhere to play, and then I found out about PPT. And, I at first I thought it was a long shot, but what other options did I have left? So head up coach Pugh did our tryout in the middle of the snow. We did our tryout,
Mm-hmm.
made the team,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's how I found PPC.
Man, it's interesting, man, because you talked about, we don't have to get into specifics, but you talked about how you missed your senior year, how you got kicked out of school and whatnot. Man, I think that's interesting because one of the things that I tell people is how, man, there are ways and opportunities to earn playing time and earn offers to a school without playing for your school or your high school per se, right? So like
Yeah.
when you were searching for opportunities, man, you talked about how you found us online. What was your state of mind when you joined? Were you like, man, I hope to God this works? Or hey, man, I don't know what this is really about. Like, what was your state of mind as you were searching for us? You found us and you reached out. What were you thinking?
Man, I was just thinking I just need another chance because I know if I got my chance, then I had no other choice but to do something with it. So
Yeah.
I felt like I had to do that and just it was gonna work. Like I had to make it work, whatever it was. So
And what was the emotional state though? Because you talk about how you missed school. Just did you feel down and out? Were you rock bottom? Just what was that emotional state like, man? Like, man, I messed it up. I had the opportunity going, and then I threw the bag away. What was that like?
I mean, at first I was discouraged. I couldn't even go to games. I was just watching my teammates online on a stream, watching my teammates go out there and play. So it was hard at first, but you know, after after some time, it's like you can't be stuck on this one thing because you're
Hmm.
not going to do anything to move forward. So I just told myself, I said, all right, you had your time to grieve about it, right? So now it's time to get back to work. So I started training by myself, tried to train on my own,
Hmm.
found PPT. You know, I started putting on some more muscle weight, got bigger, faster, stronger. And it was reality check too because I felt like maybe my attitude wasn't as good back then. Maybe I was a little cocky. Maybe I was, this and
Yeah.
that because I had everything. I was on top of the world, and I think I needed
Right.
to get humbled. So that helped my character development a lot too. So
Man, that's intriguing. You talked about getting humble. Okay, so go into that a little bit more, like, because now that you're in college, and we'll touch more on your time in college, but you're talking about being humble now and going through that experience. How beneficial was that? Um, Knowing that you kind of got knocked down the ladder, you had to fight your way back. Just what was that experience like?
yeah, it's hard. It's hard when football is the one thing I love. Like I don't know what
Yeah,
I'd do without it. So when you lose it, it's like, what do I even do? So it just I was on top of the world pretty much.
yeah.
I had everything, and then you know, sometimes God just has to let you know, like you
Like
know,
you ain't running the show, big dog. So,
yeah,
yep, yep. So look, man, do this. So I know, man, we talked about the opportunity that you got, and we know that you end up, going through the progression through the program, and man, having an opportunity to play in college, and we were able to get that done in less than 6 months, man. What was that process like? So you had, you started in January, everything ended around April. Man, we went on a couple school visits. Man, what was that like, man? Between the school visit time, the private interviews that you had, what was your mindset when all that stuff laid out in front of you?
it was a little stressful because I knew this is my last chance. So it was definitely a little bit stressful, just going through all those different trials, just seeing, man, does this go on me? Does this go on me? Does this go on me?
Yep.
I had to make sure every interview I did was perfect. Um, all the visits we went on, I was trying to ask all the questions I can, get all the information I can. So it was definitely stressful, but God has a plan, and he worked it out in the end.
So what was your thought process like, man, when I called you and I said, "Hey, man, Coach Bradford from Wayland Baptist wants to do an interview with you"? Like, what were you thinking when that first happened?
I was definitely excited because it's just like it's been so long since someone said that they want to see me, because
Hmm.
it was just like a drought for a while. So when someone says that, it's like we want to offer you something, we want to talk to you. Like it definitely feels good. It's a confidence booster, and it just makes you feel more confident what you're doing. That what you're doing is
Right.
working.
Yeah, and then you talked about getting a one-on-one interview, and we look at the timeline, man, about missing senior year, coming into the program, looking for any type of opportunity. Man, did you feel any type of hope at that point in time? Like, man, like, wait a minute, like, Coach, you calling me and you serious? You serious that we really got a school on the phone right now? We don't have any
Yeah.
tape, any film, anything like that. Like, what was that emotional state like? What was your parents like? 'Cause I remember calling your mom and being like, hey, man, make sure Nick is on this Zoom call with Coach Bradford. Just what was that emotional state like for you guys as a family?
My mom was definitely emotional just because she knew everything I've been through.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, it was just I was locked in on trying to get somewhere. So I was
Hmm.
just trying to dress my best, speak
Yep.
speak the best way I can, just be on point. So I mean, I was pretty focused and just trying to get somewhere, because I know if I got my chance, then I was gonna be able to do something with it.
So you progress through the program, man, and when you first start, you're like, man, I know I got to get something going, and I'm kind of at my rock end, my last hope, so I got to do everything I can. Then all of a sudden, the visit TCU happened. All of a sudden, the one-on-one interview happened. Now, are you starting to build a little bit like, wait a minute, this could this could turn the other way? What was
Yeah,
that like, knowing that you got a little momentum starting to move? What was that process like?
it was nice. It gave me more. Like every time I step in the gym, I feel like, okay, for so long it's been like, am I doing this for no reason? You know?
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
it's like, okay, now I see it's coming in, you just got to stick with it and have faith because, I was doing all that. Sometimes I didn't want to go to the gym. Sometimes I was thinking, man, am I working out for no reason? Nobody's looking at me, this and that. And then,
Hmm.
someone starts giving some interest and it just gives you, okay, I'm doing something with this. So it's
Yeah.
not all for nothing.
That's big, man. So then we're progressing through the program again. I hit you up, man, and we're starting to practice the practices. I hit you up and I tell you that Coach Delgado, me and him had a nice little conversation, and he'll be down coming to check you out, right? So we had like the Q&A session. He was down there at practice, man. What was that like, knowing that okay, man, here's a real opportunity. I actually have a coach coming down to evaluate me. Timeout. Like, wait a minute, is this real? What was that like? What was that process like when I gave you that call and you know that he was coming down for the evaluation process?
It was pretty wild because at that time frame, all the class 24 was done being looked at.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
already done. It was class 25 now. So the fact that he came down from Missouri from the best conference in D2 football, the SEC D2, is
right.
coming down to come travel 6 hours to come watch me play. Um, that was crazy. That was like, man,
Hmm.
I better be on point today. So I
Yeah,
feel like that was my chance right there, and eventually I did something with it. So I mean, that meant a lot to me just because uh, I came from this big drought where I didn't
yep.
have anything, and then now it's finally something. I finally get my break and my chance.
Yeah, man. I mean, I tell you, that was the best practice we had. Y'all were turned up when coach showed up for practice, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, what was that like, man? What was just kind of like the conversation like when he came down and he talked to you? Because I know you guys were off to the side and he wanted to have like a little quick talk, man. But without getting into detail, what was kind of the things that he said to you? Like, hey, man, I'm looking forward to watching this game that you guys are gonna play. Like height and weight, whatever. What was kind of the things that he said to you that gave you some hope and propelled you into the game that we played in Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, he was saying he was looking forward to the game. I went to the game. I think I was playing, man, every position.
Yep,
I was
yep.
at receiver, safety, corner a few times, and nickel, DN. So I mean, at my height frame, he felt like I could have played anything. So he wanted to
Yeah.
see what he didn't know what I was going to play yet, but he knew I could play.
Yeah.
So he wanted to just see the game, and I ended up playing five different positions and doing good at. I feel like I
Yeah.
did well at every single position I played.
Yep.
So he was hyped about that, and he was just evaluating me, telling him he's gonna go talk to the head coach about me, because it was a long shot because class 24 was already done, so it was
Yeah.
definitely a long shot. But yeah, I got an opportunity to go play. So
So man, we went up there, played the game. We got the film done and all that, and then all of a sudden, the call comes in, man. And when you get the call and you get the opportunity, man, to go extend your playing career at Missouri Southern, what was that like? Like, man, all the stuff that you've been through, right? Like you went through the stuff, hanging around the wrong people. Everybody knows that story. That is what it is, right? You get kicked out of school, man. You're in alternative school. You miss out on your senior year. You're looking for all the hope and everything that you could find. Then you finally receive a phone call at the end of the entire program, man, and he's saying, "Hey, man, we want you to come and join us on the team." Man, what does that look like? Or not? What does that look like? How did that feel when you
yeah.
finally got that call, man? What was your mom like? I know your mom was hyped too, but so what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it was stressful because I was sitting here, we got back, and I didn't hear nothing yet, and it was just a waiting period, and it was like,
Yeah,
man, am I gonna go somewhere or not?
yeah,
So I just wanted to rip the band-aid off. But when I got that call, it was definitely exciting. It's just like you look back at it and you're like, damn, like a year, not even a year ago, 6 months ago, today I was doing this. I was missing out on everything. I was just now starting to get back to the gym, just now putting in work. So it's just the faith really showed like over time, like you're really not doing it for nothing. So it was really exciting. It was crazy. It was crazy.
man. It's just funny. Now you look at all the adversity that you went through, and we had our talks going into the season because they didn't have necessarily a spot for you immediately since you were late in the process. Man, how did you take everything that you learned from all the adverse situations that you went through and applied it to this past football season, man? Just kind of waiting in the wings, waiting on the sideline, man. What could you take from that, and what did you apply to this past season?
Yeah, I mean, I got there and they pretty much told me, you're class 24, we're recruiting class 25, so we'll bring you here, but pretty much you got to earn it. We have a
Yep.
spot for you next season is what they told me.
Yeah.
And I felt like that wasn't good enough for me.
Yep.
So, I was out there. They didn't tell me I had to be at practice, but I went out there at practice every day. I was helping with water, helping with pennies, like really from the bottom. But it was hard, but I just did this. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just did this, so I know
Yep.
what this is
Yep.
like. So I said, what, let me just stick with it. So boom, I'm doing all that, helping out during practice, throwing the ball during drills, and then, eventually people started getting injured, people started getting hurt. Coach, I could play scout team. Boom, got on
Yeah.
scout team. Started making plays on scout team. I'm in scout team in regular street clothes, and everyone else is in pads. And
Yep.
I'm getting interceptions, so
Yep.
I had to show them that I can really do something with this. So
Yep.
I got put in a position where they gave me a chance, and I took advantage of it. So sooner or later, started putting me in pads. By week 6, 7, now I'm in full pads. Now I'm competing with the team. Now I'm starting to learn the plays. Now it looks like I got a real chance now. Now I'm running with the twos, so it was definitely something. It was crazy, go from like pretty much a water boy having no opportunity, telling me, yeah, we'll let you in next season. Nah, like I need it now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I need to go get mine now. So I did that, and it was pretty crazy. I mean, the way things align sometimes, it's like you don't really expect it. It never looks like it. You know,
Yep.
never looks like it's gonna work out until it does. So I mean, now I have an opportunity to go start and to go earn a starting spot and to go, hopefully make all conference and just go from there.
Funny, man. You went from no schools to no high school senior season to no offers to being offered a spot just to be on the team and be a water boy right now because this is the role that we can give you, to taking advantage of a spot to now have the opportunity to be a starter. Man, that's big time, man. Now, to close it out, what would you tell people, man, that are on the fringe and are like, man, can this program really help me? Like, man, can this can Coach P really get me the offer that I'm looking for? Because I understand he has all these guys in D1, but what about me, man? I'm the guy who I'm too short, I'm too small. I don't really play that much. What would you tell that person, man, that's on the fringe about joining the program?
Hey, you just gotta have faith. I mean, if you're already in this situation, you don't have much to lose, and I feel like that's the most dangerous thing in the world. You don't have
Mm,
anything to lose. So I mean, just put faith in coach, because I mean, take a look at not just my story, but countless people that have just played in college football playoffs, or that have just played a bowl game. So it's not just me. It's there's a lot of receipts. And God doesn't. God gives his worst battles to the strongest soldiers. I think so. It's just you just got to see it through. And I think it'll all work out in the end.
Well, that's beautiful, man. That's all I got. Well, look, everybody, this is Nic Rosso, the new, soon to be starting safety at Missouri Southern State University. Man, thank you for your time. Thank you for giving the people the knowledge, man, but also ultimately sharing your story because I think, man, people need to hear that and need to know that hope is not lost. Hope is available only if you do the work, man. You take advantage of the opportunities. So, man, until next time, we'll talk to you, man. For everybody else, if you want to learn more about PPT, click the link down below. Let's go.